Hello and welcome back to the Excavation of Hob's Barrow. Last time we made our way to Mr. Shoulder's cottage, however he was not there. Our assistant, Kenneth, didn't arrive. Our crate did, but it is now locked away and guarded by someone who can drink a lot of ale. And a doll has been stolen, Myrtle, which if we can find it, might help us get the direction to Hob's Barrow. And that is probably what we need to do right now. Either that or get access to our crate. One or the other. So, go look around, talk to some people.
Cyril.
I'll do, lass.
What do you make of Henry Long?
Yeah.
An idiot who thinks that station's a good idea. Can you imagine? Strangers pouring into Bewlay. Turns the stomach, that does.
Maybe he has a point. You could travel.
Bah! You're an outsider. I'd expect you to have such a bad opinion. But Henry, he's a Bewlay lad. We've had the odd barney or two in the pub over it all.
I can imagine. Can I buy you a drink, Cyril?
Now,
Yes.
go on then, lass.
Follow me.
We're just inviting people to drinks, I guess.
So then he turns around and says, "Why is a dog like a tree?" And I says, "I don't know." And he says, "Because they both lose their bark once they're dead."
Wow.
Very droll, Cyril. Well, it's been a pleasure, but I must be off.
Aye, lass. Ta for the drink. You're not too bad for an outsider.
Okay, so he's now here though. So maybe if we now invite Henry, maybe they get into like an argument and he stays.
Hello.
Good day.
Can I buy you an...
I suppose I shall take you up.
Let us make our...
That could be right.
To think, if that station hadn't been built, we would never have met. Blessed be the Midland Railway.
Idiot!
Here we go. Yes.
That station is the worst decision this village has ever made!
Cyril Farnaby, a miserable man with miserable ideas. I will change your mind even if it kills me.
There we go. Nice. Because Cyril mentioned that they get into like arguments at the bar. So that is good. Now, it doesn't really help us enter the thing necessarily if it's locked.
Locked, as expected. I need to get inside without attracting too much attention. I don't think battering the door down is the solution here. I don't wish to draw too much attention.
Where did I get the key again? Oh, that's our room key.
This key doesn't... I can't see how that will help me. I'm not sure what that would achieve.
I'm not sure either, but can I
That's a peculiar idea.
punch the window?
No, that...
Okay.
He's currently debating the merits of the railway.
Okay, but at least he's gone now, so maybe we can find something. Can I get like the...
I have nothing else to...
board maybe? Oh. It's something to pick the lock or something.
The bucket is... I have nothing else to...
Or nothing. Okay. Around.
I have nothing else to...
Also nothing. Okay.
Mr. Tillett.
Okay. Gotta be something somewhere. That's for sure. This is where we met the vicar the first time. I think there's anything else here.
I've no desire.
Where these guys are.
Do you know where I can find a place called Hob's Barrow?
Never heard of it.
Thanks for your time.
We'll be done by tomorrow morning.
Okay. Let's look around for either Myrtle or place to. This is that. Go over there. Uncross. Maybe she knows where those fairies are.
Have you found Myrtle, miss?
Yeah, tell me about the fair folk.
Wally told me he's given Myrtle to the fair folk.
Now I'll never see her again.
There, child. I'll get your doll back,
Yeah.
don't worry. Where can I find the fair folk?
Wally says he sees them on the moors, dancing and riding on the backs of birds. But be careful. We don't want to upset the fair folk.
How so?
They'll put a hex on you.
Jane?
Okay.
I'm quite sure there is no such thing as fair folk.
Don't let them hear you say that, miss.
Okay.
Wally told me you kicked him. Is that true?
Wally is a liar. He took Myrtle and ran. He's such a little shit.
You shouldn't really kick your brother, even when he does deserve it. Goodbye.
Bye, miss.
Okay. Somewhere in the moor. That much we already knew. Let's see. Does she know anything
I
about...
can't think of any.
I mean, she's the worm. We established that, so...
I'd better not touch them. They could be poisonous. It looks like something has been buried in the middle.
Yeah, maybe... That's where Myrtle is. Uh-oh, what's going on now? Uh-oh, is that another flashback? I think so, yeah.
Thomasina, please stop leaving your toys lying about the place. What happened the last time you left your dolly under the tree?
A fox ate it, madame.
Yes, it did. Fetch it now, won't you? Then I'll fix your supper.
Yes, madame.
Okay.
Mr. Bowles looks cross.
Sure does.
What's for supper, madame?
It'll be nothing but a glass of water and a worm if you don't fetch your dolly right this instant.
Hello, fairies.
Oh,
It's the gateway to the fairy kingdom.
I see.
Hello. There she is. There
Josephine.
you are, Josephine. I won't let the foxes eat you.
Who's that you have there, little bird?
Josephine. She introduced me to the fairies.
Oh, fairies, you say?
Yes, Daddy.
Do you believe in fairies?
Of course. Do you see those mushrooms over there?
Yes.
That's a gateway to their kingdom. That's where Josephine and I go to talk to the fairies.
Now, listen to me, Thomasina.
Yes?
You're old enough now to hear this. There's no such thing as fairies or talking dolls, my little bird.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, my dear child. I do not wish to upset you. I just want to make sure that you understand the difference between fantasy and reality. Josephine is just a doll, and fairies do not exist.
But, Daddy...
Science is the great antidote to the poison of enthusiasm and superstition. Please always remember that. If you hear anything about fairies or the like again, know that it's hogwash. What is it?
Hey, interesting.
Hogwash.
Hogwash.
Did Wally bury the doll, I wonder?
Maybe. Ew.
This must be Jane's ragdoll.
Ew, indeed. I don't know if I want to touch that. We got some worms. But,
There is something somewhat unsettling about its appearance.
sure is. A worm.
Look at it writhing away. Perhaps these wriggling worms are the fair folk young Wally was so fearful of.
Maybe.
How
Gross.
strange. There is a hairpin pierced through the arm.
Now the
This may come in
hairpin.
handy. I'll keep it.
Yeah, the hairpin we might be able
At
to
least I
use
shall not return from Bewlay empty-handed.
to get into the storage, right? Essentially. Examine
A
it.
sharp hairpin. Could be useful. It's Jane's creepy ragdoll.
Jane's creepy ragdoll. Now, can we use that?
Kenneth taught me this useful trick. A hairpin is much more than a hair accessory. A few wiggles and this lock should spring right open.
Do it?
I've snapped the hairpin in the process, but I managed to unlock the door.
Okay. Not in.
Let's open this envelope. There's a note inside.
Miss Bateman, I beg for your forgiveness. A matter of grave urgency has arisen in London, and I cannot join you in Bewlay. I've packed your usual equipment and pray you will find local assistance in my absence. I look forward to seeing you upon your return. Yours faithfully, Kenneth Murdoch.
How
Okay.
very frustrating.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened. I'd better get this to the alley before Mr. Long comes back.
How do we get that to the alley? Seems like
Moving
big-
a fully laden crate through the village square was no easy task.
Yeah.
Somehow, no one was there to witness it. But I didn't give up, because I never give up, do I, Mother? I am as stubborn as my father, as you liked to remind me.
Okay.
Wait. Where is my money?
No.
It's not in here. Kenneth, you absolute liability of a man.
Damn it, Kenneth.
It looks like everything else is in here. Picks, specimen trays, shovels. Oh, my chisel, I'll take that. Ah, my lantern. It feels light. There mustn't be any oil inside. I'll leave
Kenneth.
the rest in the crate. Stanley assured me things would be safe here.
Okay.
No money and no assistant. This is most inconvenient.
Sure is.
Still, I've been in worse situations. I've got a tab at the inn for now. I'll worry about money later. I must
Oh.
find that barrow and get on with the excavation.
I'll figure that out later, I guess. You have.
I need
all that.
paraffin to fuel my lantern. I've had this for years. It's looking like it could break at any moment, really.
Oh boy.
I'd rather not go into those horrible toilets again.
Okay. Let's, before we go to Jane.
I can't think of anything else to talk. The candle has melted. I can't see how that will help me.
Okay. Just wondering if I can ask for some oil or something. They're still arguing, so let's leave. Also, I wonder if I can check out the other crates before we...
I don't need to go in there.
Okay. There you go.
I present to you Myrtle.
May have to wash her again.
Myrtle! I missed you so much.
Now, I believe we had a deal.
Hide and seek.
What?
Come back!
Can't believe it.
It's in moments like these I thank myself for not having children.
Right? I wonder... Aha!
Splendid. I've managed to extract it in one piece.
Very nice. Might be able to give that to
An exceptional ammonite fossil.
the blacksmith. Not sure for what yet, but be useful to have.
Hey!
Okay. Oh no.
Jane? Jane, get out of there. Don't make me come in. Fine.
I think we have to go in.
Curses. The hole is too small for me to fit through.
Can I use... Make it a little
I
bigger?
was always happiest with a trowel in my hand, uncovering hidden worlds within the earth itself, clod by clod. That
Okay.
should do it.
Oh boy.
Jane! Come out this instant.
I think we need...
I can't see a
Yeah.
damned thing in here. I need a light source.
Need some paraffin. Maybe we can talk to the blacksmith and exchange a fossil for some paraffin.
It looks like the same make as my own. Good day.
Yes?
I was wondering if you might be able to spare some lantern oil.
I don't have much to spare, lass. Paraffin is as rare as hen's teeth in these parts. How much coin do you have?
None, I'm afraid.
If you're in a bind, I can trade you a small amount.
A trade, you say?
Aye.
Okay.
What can I trade?
Surprise me.
Thanks for your
I
time.
have, I
Aye.
think, the perfect
Speak to you
thing to
later.
trade. The blacksmith.
Would you trade some of your paraffin for this fossilized ammonite, Mr. Crozier?
Now then, 'tis a beauty that. It looks familiar. I'll take it off your hands.
Wonderful.
Let me fetch some paraffin from inside.
Thank you.
There you are.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier.
Awesome. So, find that.
My
Awesome.
lantern is fueled and ready for action.
Awesome. We're making progress. That's good. Back into the hole.
Right, let's put this lantern to good use.
Let's do that. That's not creepy at all.
Jane, come out at once.
Ridiculous, Jane. What the Oh no, it's a badger!
Goodness me. Jane!
Silly, what are you doing in that smelly old badger's hole?
You were in there.
No, I weren't.
What?
Yes, you were.
Not true. I was hiding behind that tree over there. I got bored of waiting for you.
So where can I find Hob's Barrow?
Go north from the church graveyard, up the hill. You'll see some muddy fields on the horizon. That's Mr. Bryden's farm. Hob's Barrow is there. Don't tell any grown-ups I told you. And thanks for getting Myrtle back.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jane. You've been a great help.
I'd like to kick her against her chin. As a squirrel.
I shan't be visiting the badgers again. I was lucky to escape intact.
Yeah. Well, at least now we know where to go. Kids. Do-do-do-do-do. Won't have any money for those baked goods. Okay, north from the graveyard. Muddy fields.
As I trudged through the barren moors, with only the odd sheep for company, I reflected upon my visit to Bewlay thus far. The enigmatic Mr. Shoulder and his puzzling disappearance. The townsfolk of Bewlay, who had made it as difficult as they could for me to find Hob's Barrow. The suspicion, the wariness in their eyes. Only now I know it was actually fear. In the end, it was the innocence of a child, young Jane, that condemned me to my fate.
That's ominous.
Ploughed fields stretch far and wide, an unusual sight for this area. The gate opens out into a vast tilled field. I've no desire to wander the furrows. The entrance to the farmhouse.
Hello? Oh, one there for once.
What do you want?
My name is Thomasina Bateman. Mr. Bryden, I presume.
Aye? What do you want, lass?
Looking for Hob's Barrow.
I understand Hob's Barrow is located on your land.
Oh, well, yes. Why'd you ask?
I am an antiquarian, Mr. Bryden. I'm writing a volume on the barrows of England.
Oh, I suppose you'll be wanting to dig about it.
If at all
Correct.
possible, Mr. Bryden. I was invited to Bewlay by Mr. Leonard Shoulder, who told me such an excavation would be possible.
Leonard Shoulder? Ha! I haven't seen him in years. The last I heard he were on death's door. There's to be no more digging there, lass. Not since it went so badly last time.
Okay, first tell me about yourself.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Bryden.
I live here with my wife. And I might be long in tooth, but I can still run this farm without too much help.
What happened last time?
Was there a previous excavation of Hob's Barrow?
Aye. My brother dug it up. Must have been, 25 years ago. You see, whatever he found inside, well, it drove him mad.
Oh?
Aye. I moved back here to look after him. Poor bastard hanged himself not long after.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bryden. That's terrible.
Aye. Time passes, but it were an awful thing.
Tell me about your brother.
What did your brother find?
Samuel. Samuel were his name.
Sorry, what did Samuel find in the barrow?
I don't know. But something went wrong. Afterward, he could barely speak. You couldn't make out a word, like.
That must have been hard.
He lost a hand in that excavation too, you know.
Goodness me, how?
I try hard not to speculate on what might have happened, lass. I'd see him disappear into that barrow, dragging timber in with him. You'd hear him hammering away for hours. I offered him help, but he'd have none of it. Soon enough, he blocked the entrance off. To look at it now, you'd never know the thing we dug up. The landers reclaimed it.
Okay.
Who else was involved in the excavation?
2 others, I believe. Outsiders, perhaps. I can't say for sure. I think they left town pretty swiftly afterwards.
I lived in
Interesting.
Bakewell at the time. I only moved back here to look after Samuel.
I wonder
took
if
over the
maybe
farm
our
when he
father
passed
was
away.
one of them.
I see. What can you tell me about your farm?
Samuel's fair to side. We're a fortunate family. The soil is fertile here. Crops grow without too much trouble. All the other farmers round here raise livestock, even Lord Panswick. We grow feed for him.
Most fortunate, Mr. Bryden. Is your wife home?
She's out in fields, lass, pulling weeds. The curse of such fertile soil. 40 years we've been married. I couldn't do it without her, you see.
How
Very nice.
splendid.
Yeah.
Aye, my wife is a fine woman. Are you married, lass?
No. I've had my fair share of proposals, Mr. Bryden, but that's not the life for me.
Marriage is an important institution. You'll find a man one day.
I manage rather well without one, Mr. Bryden.
Can you tell me more about Leonard Shoulder?
You haven't seen Mr. Shoulder for some time.
I hear about him now and then, but it must be a good few years since I set eyes on him.
He hasn't been here to visit Hobbs Barrow.
Not to my knowledge. I heard he's beset by ailments. Don't
That's
leave
weird.
his home often.
How odd.
Yeah, exactly.
I assumed he'd spoken to you about my visit.
Exactly.
Not at all.
What can you tell me of Lord Panswick?
He keeps us going. Most of our crops go to feed his animals.
What is he like?
Oh, I've hardly laid eyes on him. He sends his workers here to pick up the crops.
I see.
No?
You say Mr. Shoulder is at death's door. What exactly ails him?
Yeah,
I'm unsure. It's just what I've heard. I wouldn't want to speculate on matters that are not my business.
that's fair.
Mr. Bryden, may I please have your permission to excavate Hobbs Barrow?
No. Have you not been listening, lass? Samuel found something in there that's best left to rot. No digging here, lass.
Wouldn't you like to find out more about what Samuel found in
Wouldn't
there?
you like to find out more about what Samuel found in there?
Perhaps. But Samuel boarded up that barrow for a reason. You don't want to tempt the same fate, lass.
Perhaps I can at least see it.
Perhaps I can at least see Hobbs Barrow.
I suppose you've come a long way to be here, lass.
All the way from London, Mr. Bryden.
Have you any proof of all you've told me?
Oh,
You wish to see proof of what, Mr. Bryden?
I can't let any Tom, Dick or Harry wander around me fields. What proof have you of your claims?
You wish to see...
I can't let any... What proof have you...
my
Thanks for your time.
claims.
Ta-ra now.
Guess maybe the letters?
Here is proof that Mr. Shoulder invited me to Bewlay in order to excavate Hobbs Barrow.
Leonard making bold promises, I see. Don't make me regret this. But yes, you can have a look at it.
Thank you.
Any road. Once you've set your eyes on it, you won't be wanting out to do with it. The place gives one a queer feeling.
So where can I find it?
Through that gate to your left. Just head straight across the top to the field there. After 10 minutes or so, you'll see Barrow, set on a hill ahead.
Thank you again, Mr. Bryden. I really do appreciate it.
Hey. I'm looking around. Bucket.
This is not mine to take. The empty bucket smells of rancid milk.
Milk bucket.
What
Where's
a
it go?
wild-looking thing. Easy, girl.
Okay.
I'm not fond of goats at the best of times, but this one seems particularly disagreeable.
Okay. Well, I guess let's go to Hobbs Barrow, right? Do we have anything that we want to ask?
I'm not sure they would...
Okay.
I probably should have brought my umbrella.
Yeah.
Perhaps I could take a closer look.
Let's do it. We are. Probably an automatic rifle.
I haven't a clue what that could be referring to. Someone has carved the letters AR into the stone. Finally, here it is. Hob's Barrow.
Okay. The amount of dirt. Found it.
Indeed, a barrow of a most unusual rectangular form. I've not seen something like this since West Kennet Long Barrow. Yes, this shall make a fine entry for my book. What secrets do you conceal, I wonder? That smell. Earthy and sweet.
Hey. That's another flashback.
3, 2, 1. You can open your eyes now, Thomasina. Come.
Alright, what do we have here?
Are you ready for your first excavation?
Yes, let's do it.
Yes, Daddy.
Capital. Make sure you remember everything I've taught you. I have a feeling you might find something special.
How exciting.
I'll be watching from the steps, my little bird. Good luck.
Thank you, Daddy.
I already see that there's a trowel.
Now I'm ready. Daddy has buried something here. Nothing here.
Okay. Another amount of dirt there.
No treasures here.
There's another one.
Treasure!
Treasure!
Daddy, I found the treasure! Look!
Well done, little bird. Your first successful excavation. That urn you're holding is very old and precious. Take good care of it, all right?
All right.
I will, Daddy. I promise.
Hey.
I do have a feeling there is something exceptional to be discovered here. I must gain Mr. Bryden's permission to excavate.
I have that feeling too, but I also have a feeling it won't be something good. They are. I don't like the ominous music.
Darkness falls quickly here. I should make my way back to the inn.
There.
I shouldn't disturb him.
I don't like the music right now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
The blacksmith looks...
Uh-oh. I don't like this at all. Someone's there.
No one here.
Hey. Well, this is creepy. It's a Crozier.
Good evening, Mr. Crozier.
Still around.
Evening. Thanks again for the fossil, lass. 'Tis truly a beauty.
You're most welcome. How long have you been collecting fossils?
Ever since I were a boy. The moors look a barren place, but there are plenty of fossils to be found in the rock formations. All manner of creatures to uncover.
Such a playground for a young lad. What's your favourite piece in your collection?
The ammonite you gave me today. The most recent is always the best.
Indeed.
What about you, lass? Do you collect out?
I do. You see, I'm writing a book on the Barrows of England. It shall be called Vestiges of the Antiquities in Rural England. I document all my findings.
But what do you collect?
Pottery, tools and such.
Bones too, no doubt.
No, I leave those in place.
You've got a morbid heart, lass. Fussing about in old graves like that.
We're not dissimilar in that we both take an interest in the remains of the long gone.
I suppose you have a point there. How's your book coming along, then?
Very well, thank you. Though I'm rather keen to begin my chapter on Hob's Barrow. Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
Well.
Good evening, gentlemen.
What are you gonna do about him?
If he thinks he can take her away from here, he's got another thing coming. I am gonna knock his bloody block off. In fact, I can think of a better punishment. Oi, what do you want, lady? Piss off.
Oh,
You
jeez.
heard the man.
Charming.
Yeah, very charming. Cannot disturb them too much.
He's engaged in a bout of pinfinger. Such a brutal hobby.
It is.
Good evening, sir.
Cannot distract him. Oh boy.
I'll leave you to it.
Yeah. That's
I
Herbert.
don't wish to wake him up.
That's not the black cat that we've seen.
Hello again, Cyril.
You're still here?
Did Mr. Long convince you of the virtues of Bewlay Station?
What the hell do you think? Now bugger off and leave me to me drink.
Right.
He seems even more wound up than usual.
Let's talk to Stanley.
Good evening, Miss Bateman.
Good evening, Stanley. I found Hob's Barrow.
Oh, remember what I said, Miss Bateman? There are stories connected to that place.
Yes, stories you won't elaborate on, I might add. Don't worry about me, Stanley. I'm quite capable of warding off imagined fiends.
I have no doubt, but please leave that place be.
I've come this far, there's no turning back now.
That's precisely what worries me.
Let's have a
A
drink.
mug of your finest ale, please.
We're just getting drunk all day.
There we are. That's 2 pence on your account.
Thank you. Goodbye.
See you soon.
I mean... we're good. Let's just check outside for a second.
The sun has set and... I must say, last night has rather put me off using these toilets.
Okay. Well, I think then we go to bed.
Time for bed. Tomorrow I shall convince Mr. Bryden to allow me to begin my excavation.
We will try.
Miss Bateman,
Uh-oh.
how are you?
Tired.
Gonna buy you a drink?
Arthur. No thanks. One won't hurt. Maybe we can get more information.
One won't hurt.
Excellent. I feel bad about what happened last night. I'm sorry I can't remember it.
That's all right, Mr. Tillett. Alcohol can do all sorts of damage to one's memory.
I was thinking that maybe if we had another drink tonight, I might remember what happened.
Maybe.
I'm not sure that's logical.
Nope.
But worth trying?
I don't need any further convincing.
Take your seat, Miss Bateman. I shall return with the goods.
Cheers.
To Leonard Shoulder.
Wherever he may be. I've been meaning to ask you something.
Yes?
Why did Leonard Shoulder ask you to dig up Hobbs Barrow?
That's a good question.
Despite his disappearing act the previous evening, not to mention his questionable sobriety, I decided Mr. Tillett was to be my ally.
Yeah, he seems nice.
I spoke again of Mr. Shoulder's letter, his proposed excavation, and my status as an antiquarian and barrow digger. He was fascinated and quite excited at the prospect of meeting the soon-to-be author of a real-life book.
You must find all manner of riches on your digs.
Barrow digging is not all success, Mr. Tillett. Often I'll come across the likeliest of sites steeped in promise. We set to work with shovel and pick and all the other barrow-opening paraphernalia you can imagine. Every stone carefully taken down, every shovel full of earth put dutifully through the sieve, and we find nothing. Or you may find a miserable remnant of animal bone or a shard of pottery hardly to be recognized from the peat in which it decayed. Sometimes it's as if some Neolithic humorist prepared an elaborate practical joke for your special benefit.
It still sounds much more exciting than spending your days sitting in England's most remote railway
Ah, that's a fair
station.
point.
Are you all right, Mr. Tillett?
I've had another argument with Agnes.
Your wife?
Aye. She didn't want me coming to the plough tonight. Truth is, I've been drinking my life away since my mother passed.
Oh,
We
that's
found-
terrible. I'm
found a
sorry for your
grave
loss.
with the name
You're
Tillett.
kind, Miss Bateman. Thank you. It's been a year since the old girl left us. She had a horrible end, wasting away, day by day. Consumption got her. She was naught but bones by the end. I can't get the image out of my mind. She were everything to me.
I'm so sorry.
I apologise for going on, Miss Bateman. It's not appropriate.
It's okay.
Don't worry, Mr. Tillett. I appreciate your openness.
Used to love going for walks out in the moor, my mother and I, ever since I were a little one. She'd get a tear in her eye as she looked out upon it. She loved this land. I asked Mr. Crozier to build a bench, which we've erected at her favourite lookout spot on the moors. Margaret's Lookout, we call it.
Oh, I see.
It's a beautiful tribute.
Aye. If you take a seat there, do keep her in your thoughts, won't you?
Of course, Mr. Tillett. I can relate in some manner. My father had an accident when I was very young. He's still alive, but he can neither move nor speak. He spends his entire life bedbound and incapable of communicating or looking after himself in any way.
How dreadful.
He was a barrow digger himself, an antiquarian of some renown. He taught me so much, even though I was so young. I think writing this book is my way of carrying on his work. It helps me reclaim those earlier memories of him, and I visit him often to tell him all about my excavations.
Can he hear you?
I've no idea. The doctors aren't sure. I'd do anything to make him better, Mr. Tillett. I'd do anything to bring him back to the man he was. I am in a state of suspended mourning for a man caught between life and death.
Dreadful. Just dreadful.
Indeed.
We all have our weaknesses. Mine just happens to be my father.
And what of your mother?
A cold woman. We haven't talked in quite some time. I think she blamed me for my father's accident somehow.
You were but a child.
Indeed. She thus saw it fit that a governess should raise me as she spent her life grieving for my father.
Wow.
Well then, I propose a toast.
A toast to what?
A shared sense of loss.
I'll toast to that, Arthur.
Maybe we can have Arthur as our new
Now
assistant.
then,
Since
enough
Kenneth
of this
is
swallowing.
Let us be merry.
useless.
Another round.
I really shouldn't.
Yeah.
But I did.
Oh.
And another after that.
Oh.
And another.
Okay.
The frustrations of my visit to Bewlay slipped away with each swill of Stanley's finest ale. We had great fun that night, Mr. Tillett and I. I treasure the memory.
Oh, now I have a bad feeling about Arthur. Did he die?
Go on then. Let's hear those pipes.
Mustn't.
Oh boy.
Sing the song.
You're incorrigible.
Please. You'll make a sad man happy.
Oh, all right then.
Oh boy.
Clasps, celts, and arrowheads I'll try to claw within my clutch. And if a shield I should espy, I'll vow there ne'er was such.
With popish tricks and relics rare, the priests their flocks do gull. In casting out the earth take care. Huzzah! I've found a skull!
Huzzah! What's this now? Okay, I think this is a good point to take a break, maybe, before we go into the purple mist of doom, or whatever this is. Thank you all for watching today's episode of the Excavation of Hob's Barrow. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a like, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, share the video with friends, family, and the people on the internet. That all helps me out a whole bunch and will bring you more content in the future. I will be back with more The Excavation of Hob's Barrow very soon. Until then, have a great time.